Hi, I'm Joe Buno from WBOC here at WBOC's historic Studio D, and you're watching Delmarva Life.
What an amazing story Joe Buno has for us
Wow.
with Margaret Smith.
That is amazing.
More details tonight. Can't wait to see that. So, here's the question. Where is Brian? That's what we need to figure out. We need your help with it. We know today he is not highlighting a specific city or town, but instead an historic site.
And so here's what we know so far. It's 212 years old, and this historic site and its street share the same word.
So, the big question is, where is he? And it's time to find out. I got this one.
He thinks he got this one.
I got this one.
Go
nailed.
ahead, Jimmy.
Well, what is your guess?
I am going to go with what one of our camera operators said. Chris said Pemberton Park.
Pemberton Park. Ooh. I think
Okay.
Woodland Ferry.
Woodland Ferry.
On Woodland Road.
So
Ferry Road.
Pemberton Park and Woodland Ferry. I'll let you guys know if you're right or wrong in just a minute, but first I want to show you something. I'm actually standing in a neighborhood here on Delmarva. It's a very nice neighborhood. There's your average homes, lots of trees. It's very nice. The thing of the matter is, though, more than 200 years ago, none of this was here. Nothing was here, actually. I know I wasn't here. But what was here is standing just steps away from me. And this is going to reveal if you both were right or wrong. And this afternoon, we are actually at Teakle Mansion in Princess Anne in Somerset County. So Jimmy and Lisa, you both were wrong, but as usual, good guesses. So here is a little bit about the Teakle Mansion. It's actually named after the man who once lived here, Littleton Dennis Teakle. He was a native of Accomack County and moved here to Somerset County back in 1801. He was known as a merchant, entrepreneur, and a statesman, and once resided inside the Teakle Mansion with his family. Now, the house itself was built in 1801 and is 212 years old, which was my first clue. It's about 10,000 square feet and is called a neoclassical brick structure, and it tells the story of the lifestyle back then as of those who had power and money, as Mr. Teakle did. Now, the mansion is listed on the National Register of Historic Places and has been referred to as one of America's national treasures. My second clue said that this historical landmark and the street it's on share the same word. That's because the Teakle Mansion is located on Mansion Street. How appropriate is that? The inside is open for tours, and we should mention that restoration work has been going on here for years between the plaster work and painting being done inside, and the Somerset County Historical Society runs the mansion, and the goal is to eventually open it up for weddings and special events. And I should also mention, Jimmy and Lisa, that school groups often come here to get a pretty interesting history lesson. So there you have it, the Teakle Mansion. And you know, another interesting thing that I want to share with you, a neighbor walked by here before who lives down one of the streets, and he said that his home was actually used as the gatehouse. It was a smaller house on the property, and during this time, a lot of people like Mr. Teakle in high society would often lose their fortune or gain it back. And when Mr. Teakle would lose his fortune, he'd go live in the gatehouse, and then he would eventually come back into here. So interesting story nonetheless. You guys were both wrong, but so be it. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
I was going to say Teakle Mansion.
Yeah, I know you weren't.
I know I wasn't.
I'm sure you were.
I really wasn't. But thank you, Brian. Great stuff there.
Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, WBOC Sussex County Bureau Chief Joe Buno joins us in the kitchen to share one of his favorite recipes, a simple bruschetta.
Plus, we'll get to know a little bit more about Joe, including why his name is often a topic of conversation.
And while we're in the kitchen, Dr. Oz says play it safe. He has some tips on how to avoid food poisoning.
Food poisoning is guaranteed to ruin any meal. Make sure it doesn't happen to you. If you cook meats in the oven, wash the thermometer each time you check the internal temperature, or you'll pick up bacteria every time you dip. Don't put cooked meat back on the same plate you had it on when it was raw. Choose pasteurized dairy products, and don't thaw meats at room temperature. Thaw it in the fridge or in the microwave instead.